Welcome to the InitiativeOne Leadership Podcast, where we help leaders maximize their impact and transform their lives. I'm your host, Nick Nighbor, and on today's show, we have Jason Perkins. And Jason Perkins is the owner of Vestura, LLC, right here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And Jason is a certified financial planner, and he's been serving clients for over 25 years. Vestura is a wealth advisory firm, and which we'll get into, like how you serve your clients. But generally speaking, he works with many families here, actually probably throughout the country, with their wealth and helping them with their money. So welcome to the show, Jason.
Thank you.
Glad to have you on. And it's been great getting to know you this morning. I know that you have a great history with Dr. Fred Johnson as well as Tracy, some of the other facilitators here at InitiativeOne. So glad to have you on the show, and we're going to dig into this. We're going to get to know a little bit more about your background and who you serve, who you help, and a little bit with your experience with InitiativeOne. So you're the owner of Vestura. So what got you into financial planning?
Growing up, I knew that I wanted to be in finance. My dad was in manufacturing. He was a CEO of a big publicly traded conglomerate. And I wanted to go on the finance side, so went to college, got finance and accounting majors, and then was thinking accounting, but that is not where I ended up. I ended up in finance. So I'm gifted at it. I love money, I don't love money. I love managing it so that it doesn't become your God, but it's the tool that you can use to accomplish what you want.
The science behind it.
Yeah.
Helping people, serving people with it.
Yeah.
And this is what you've been doing for over 20 years.
Yeah. In grade school, I started a business selling candy. And it turned into a pretty big business. I passed that on to my brother. So I was my backpack did not have books in it. It had candy. And I was known as the guy. And so you'd line up in front of the door of whatever room I'm on in junior high and high school. And so I learned how to invest that money as a kid, buying stocks and owning companies. And I learned good lessons that you don't just own what you might like. I bought a indoor go-kart park once. I invested a lot of my money into that, and it went bankrupt. So I learned a valuable lesson early on.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you have been, so it sounds like there's like this entrepreneurial blood in you, like you're wanting to build and create things. That's sort of like where... That's how you started this company that you run, Vestura, came from that same spirit of entrepreneurship.
My dad was the CEO, so I knew what it's like to work for a public company where you have the shareholders that you're trying to please. You're judged on a quarterly basis, but you have your staff, which he always taught me that about a third of them are going to not like you. And so you can't please everybody. But he always told me that you should have your own business, that you should own your own business.
Okay.
I did not do that. Starting out, I worked at Thrivent, which is a investment insurance company, and then did that 5 years. Then I went into banking for 5 years and was going to start a bank, and then the financial crisis hit in 2007, 6, 7, 8, the Great Recession, and instead I tweaked it from a bank to the firm that I have now. So, which I think was a very wise decision. So, it's worked out very well over the last 15 years. So,
awesome. Well, congratulations on the success of your organization.
Yeah,
that's great to hear. It's great to hear of companies that are doing well, and a lot of times we don't think of the companies that are doing really well ever had failures.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like you see them like bright, shiny, you got it going on, like you got all this great stuff happening.
There's tons of,
But you don't hear about the failures because you're judging them with how they're showing up on stage today. So thank you for sharing that, that business that you had started, but it didn't work out. Like that's, the requirement for success is sometimes failure.
Right. And I thought, man, how did this not work out? Because I had all the key people in place, but one key person said no. He said he wanted to retire. And I said, but you're going to do very well starting this bank with me. And he said no. So ultimately, with that one card, it flopped the whole thing and started me just on the one sector of banking, which is investment, wealth management, kind of like the trust company within a bank.
Right.
So the trust companies of banks normally deal with dead people's money.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what a trust company does. We work with the people that are still alive, but we do exactly what a trust company would do. So we're a fiduciary. We buy our clients just cars for them, their houses, their yachts, their planes, and everything. Their tax, we get involved with their taxes, their estate stuff, and then we also set them on a budget. So it's weird. People would say, well, why would a wealthy person want to be on a budget? But it's freeing to have somebody as your chief financial officer just say, you can do that, you can do that. Go ahead and buy that. Don't buy that. And then they can, our tagline is we take the worry out of wealth. And yes, wealthy people worry. It's different worries than the poor have, but they have a lot of worries. And so we take that worry away from them. So.
Take
the worry out of wealth.
Take the worry out of wealth. Okay, I like that. So your dad was a CEO, so you had an interesting upbringing, I imagine, of having someone in a not just a leadership position, but the leadership, the leadership of this manufacturing organization. What would you say is one of the biggest lessons that you've learned from your dad?
Surround yourself with people smarter than you.
Okay.
Understand that you don't know everything. Have a thirst for learning your whole life. Learn everything. So everywhere my dad would go, he would be asking questions of, well, what do you do there? And how does that work? And you just got to be humble and know it's the opposite of pride is humility. And with that humility, you're going to be liked. You're going to like life more. And you're going to learn a ton because you know that you don't know it all. It's okay to say, I don't know the answer to that. And then go seek help and get the answers. My dad taught me a ton. He was my mentor throughout my life. There are some things, though, a lot of things, though, that he was from the old regime of before the internet and before even, so now you manage differently. And Fred taught me that you need a consensus. My dad was more of a dictator. I mean, that they had power because the people under them had to listen to you. That's the way it was.
And that's how he was taught.
Correct.
Most likely.
Correct. And he told me, make sure you don't, sorry, Dad, but make sure you're not close to your employees. I do the opposite. So I am very close with my employees. My employees are my friends. I share with them my struggles and my defeats, everything. I share everything. Fred in InitiativeOne teaches that you let your guard down, make a safe environment. And that safety would start with me. And so maybe I'm an oversharer, some people would say, but I'm comfortable sharing my stuff.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's the opposite. So I have had to tell my dad, you're wrong. He doesn't take that very well, but, whatever.
Right.
I still listen to you on lots of stuff, but on that one, it's different now, Dad. So.
Well, and then there's examples. You can have someone that this is how they operate, and he influenced you that way, and you had two choices. You could say, all right, I'm going to go that way, or I'm going to go this way. But either way, like you had an example.
Yes.
Whether it's a good example or a bad example, it's an example.
Yep.
There's influence there. You have that choice, and you're thankful for that because you were able to make a choice.
Right.
By not having that example, you would have had to sort of figure it out on your own.
Right.
Which you've been doing the last several years with your own company.
Right.
But what a great lesson that you learned from your dad.
Yeah.
So with your company launching that in 2007, what would you say is one of the biggest lessons learned starting a company, launching a company, growing a company? What are some lessons that you've learned over the years?
So when I started the company, I thought I was scared because I had worked at a bank before, a lot of bricks and mortar, structure, hierarchy, a lot of impressive buildings, lots of employees, right? I was leaving that, just me, one other guy, and I thought, well, is anyone going to come with me? Are they going to respect me without the fanciness? And everybody I called on did. So I was blown away because that people really do work with people. They trust people. They don't work with the facility or the company. The company is the person. So, and they all said that they trust me. They trust me. So even though I'm starting a company fresh, they trust me. And that's why they said yes. So I guess that's the main thing that I learned, is don't fear. Take the plunge of what you know that you can do something. I didn't want to start a company, but other people were telling me I needed to. But if others are telling you that you're good at something and you enjoy it as well, don't let that fear be your main driver of not doing something. And so I think that's one thing that InitiativeOne and Fred, I did some one-on-one counseling with Fred too, and fear was a big driver for me of not wanting to let people down, and so that fear made me, in some ways, well, in a lot of ways, if I'm ever leading with fear, it's a bad leader, and I'm usually not addressing what needs to be addressed. So he taught me to not do that.
So what is the inverse then? You talked a little bit about not letting people down. So you want people to be proud of you. That's another way.
Yeah.
That's another way of saying not letting people down.
Well, so constructively criticizing someone that I'm afraid is going to leave me. That's my biggest fear. If I told you some hard thing, okay, I'm afraid that you'd walk away from me. But in actuality, the more I did that hard thing after Fred taught me, it made people want to be with me more. Like it's the opposite. Right. So it's talking about the elephant in the room, or talking about that last 5% that you went into the conversation going, oh, I got to tell you this. You need to do that. Mm-hmm. So my hardest times of doing that is probably with my wife and with employees. I have a much easier time doing it with clients. I do it well with clients. And that's actually what Fred said. You just need to look at everyone like they're a client. Obviously not your wife in all cases, but... Yeah,
that might get you in trouble there, Jason.
Yeah. You can't... Yes, exactly. I can't... But you know what I'm saying is you need to be more very respectful, listen well, get understanding, slow down. Mm-hmm. And on the people that I know well, I usually assume that I can just charge ahead, and that's not right.
Yeah, because there might not be those deposits that have been made into that relationship. You might be bringing a withdrawal,
right?
And that account is already that account's. It might not be bankrupt, but there might not be any money in it,
right? So
you can't come in and charge and
just assume that they understand. Share
that truth. That relationship might not be there yet.
Right. Well, yes. So some things that have changed since I hired InitiativeOne, and they've helped me and our company, is monthly meetings with the whole group. I, as the leader, understand what everybody's doing, And I just kind of assume everyone else understands what everybody's doing, but they really don't. This person might not know this person's department very well or what they're doing. And so having those monthly meetings and Fred taught me that everyone on your team should lead it. You should rotate leadership of it. Okay. That changed the atmosphere of more and made it more consensus driven leadership, where it changes the whole environment of it.
Well, you're giving ownership to everyone else.
Yes.
So you're letting them you know what, I don't really want to, I'd like to open up this meeting a little bit differently than Jason does. Mm-hmm. And you're allowing them to do that.
But they didn't want to. They said, no, you do it.
Oh, so they resisted you.
They resisted.
Oh my goodness.
And some of them don't like it because that's awkward to be the leader. But that's the point. I think Fred says that it's there for a reason. Keep doing it.
It keeps it fresh.
Right.
And it.
And then they can see it from the different perspective.
Yes.
They can see what it's like to be me, maybe. I don't know. Fred has a reason for doing it, so I just do it. Usually whatever he says, I try to do.
Yes.
So and it makes me successful.
That's really interesting. There is power in the monthly meetings, but what I heard was the assumptions.
Right.
It's very easy to think others are, they think the way you do, mm-hmm. or they expect the way you do. Like, they might be thinking about what's happening tonight, and you're thinking about, all right, we're in Q2. I'm planning a Q4 right now.
Right.
Like, hey, this Q4 is going to be crazier than last, and I know why. They're not even thinking about Q3 right now.
No, you're not on the same page at all. Yeah.
Correct. So don't make assumptions.
Right.
That's really powerful.
Right. In our process of growing, I've had some key people want to. I should back up a second. We work just with the wealthy, okay? Mm-hmm. And one of my key people in the sessions here with Fred, or not with Fred, with the other guys, it came about that he thought that was morally wrong. Well, that was something I didn't know, and that would make it hard for you to do your job if that's wrong, right?
Correct.
So you need to get what's under the table above the table, and that was something that he had been probably wanting to say for a long time. And so in the end, we parted ways because that's not a person that would work here, and he's thriving in his own business working with, mm-hmm. with all different shapes and sizes. So he made us both, InitiativeOne made us both successful, more successful by getting that thing that was under the table known. And even though we parted ways, we're both doing much better. So that's the way we run our business. It's kind of backwards in the way that we turn away a lot of people. My goal is never to grow because our concentration is taking care of clients. InitiativeOne has taught me that what I already was doing, but they confirmed it and said, keep doing just that, is that there's like three things you can do as a company. You can be like cheap or attainable, right? And you can get a lot of clientele or sell a lot of stuff cheap, and then you'll grow. Or you can concentrate on quality of your services or your products. And then there's a third one I forget. But you cannot do all of it. You can't have high quality stuff for cheap. You can't do it all. Mm-hmm. So you have to focus on one thing. And we razor sharp focus on just the wealthy, which means we're turning away a lot of people. And that's hard to do because you want to help a lot of people. But if you help too many people, then you can't help these people, your main people. It's very similar to on an airplane. It's a little different, but they say to you, put the oxygen on you first before you save your kid, otherwise you're going to lose you, mm-hmm. and then you're going to lose your kids too.
Right.
So we have to take care of our clients that we do have and slowly allow others to join in so that we can take care of everybody well.
Right.
So
that's we were talking about that a little bit earlier before we got on here. You were talking about not focusing on you don't focus on growth. You focus on
Right.
bringing value to the people that you can serve, and you can't be everything to everyone.
Right.
But the ones that you do have in your life or in your business, and serve them to the very best of your ability, and that harvest will come
Yep.
over time if you do it right, because people will know, like, wow, him and his organizations, they're doing an amazing job taking care of me. And people talk,
Right.
Negative travels 10 times faster than positive.
Right.
But if you can positively impact that one family
Yep.
over time, they're more than willing to make that introduction, and then you can serve them at an even higher level. So anyone that is new to business, or maybe they've been in business for 20 years, any advice to them? Because you sharing that philosophy is a little bit different than just going out and just hammering like, hey, we need to grow 30% this year. What advice would you give to that business owner from that philosophy?
So our society judges you by what you look like on the surface, right? So if you have a lot of employees, a big building, you look successful. If you're small, you look not successful. If you have a lot of sales, you talk about those sales. We're $1 million in sales, or 10 million in sales, or 100 million in sales, and you brag about that. You could actually have zero profitability. So don't concentrate on looking big or being big. Concentrate and focus on the ultimate goal is to take care of your people and earn a profit. You need to earn a profit, or you're not going to be in business. It's not about sales and being big. It's about running a profitable company. I learned a lot from Warren Buffett. If I was going to tell anybody to read a book, I would say The Warren Buffett Way would be a book that I would read. Warren Buffett is obviously well known. I would hope that everybody knows that name. And he started from nothing, and he is very good at understanding what is a good business and what isn't a good business. He teaches people that you should only invest in a business you understand. That's applicable to starting a company too. Only do what you like and what you understand. Do not think that there's something else out there that you're missing out on. I could do it newer or different. A lot of times, the best companies are the simple ones. I mean, one of his founding companies was razor blades. He said, everybody needs them, and you're always going to shave, and I'll make money on selling you those and running that business. So I'd say read up on the person that's the most successful ever in the industry you want to be in and emulate them. Don't think that you're so smart you're going to do a better job. So I knew that I'm going to study Warren Buffett because he did it the best. I'm not going to create my own thing.
He's got fruit on the tree.
Right.
When you were saying, focus on and you brought this up earlier on in our conversation, is if there are people that reach out to you, like for advice, or they know you are thought leader is not really the word that I'm looking for, but like you've got results in that area, pay attention. And I guess that's something I'm sharing with the listeners here today is think about the people that reach out to you and ask you questions for advice. They're coming to you because they think that you have knowledge in that area. If you have knowledge in that area, like be keenly aware of that. But then also, this is a term I used with my daughters when they were younger, is if I said 4 words, they know what those 4 words are, and the 4 words are stay in your lane. And it's like a military term when I was in the military.
I hear that from my wife.
Do you do? So that's applicable to business. It's applicable to kids because like my daughters will focus not on their own, they'll focus on the other sister or this sister, where I don't even have to say stay in your lane. I just say 4 words. Worry about yourself. Stay in your lane.
Yeah.
So when it comes to business,
stay in your lane.
You can have a massive building and you can have a ton of employees, not make any money,
Right.
or you can be in this little 10 by 12
Yep.
storage unit and be making $5
Yep.
million a year profit.
Warren
And-
Buffett has 11 employees. That's it.
And he doesn't produce anything.
Nobody judges him by his 11
He doesn't
little
produce
employees.
anything.
Right.
He invests.
He buys
he's-
companies.
Yeah, exactly. So that's really good advice. Is you don't need, number one, you don't need to be everything to everyone.
Right.
And if you're good at something,
Focus on that.
focus on that area and get really good. And when you get so good at that area, then you can start to branch
Yeah.
out to other areas. But don't, like, when you focus on everything, you focus on nothing.
Right. You can't do everything well.
Exactly.
You just can't.
You've been working with Dr. Fred Tracy, the InitiativeOne team, for several years. Anything that you would share, or maybe just a little bit about your experience, or anything that you want to share with the listeners about, what you've gleaned from working with Dr. Fred and some of the team here at InitiativeOne?
Well, I think I've shared some already, but he said to, he's taught me the Pareto. I think it's called the Pareto, where you've got a lot of things on your plate, and you usually just put out fires is the typical thing to do, but you have to rank your things of importance and do the things that are most important, and not let the bottom 20% dictate what you're going to do that day. So you have to be, you have to let people down to choose what's most important. That's good to always keep in the back of your mind, of get the things done that you wanted to get done that day. So either schedule that time, calendar it. So that's something that he taught me. You're enough is a saying I think he tells everybody. I got that sticker up on my rear view mirror. I think he told me to do. I thought that was just for me, but I think it's for everybody.
Yes.
So everybody has a problem with that you don't think you're enough. So you're always striving to do better, to please people, or to get that attaboy. I hope that we can get to a point where we don't need those attaboys. I think that happens later in life, and that's where wisdom comes from, and it's starting to happen to me. But it is fun to hear an attaboy, a great job. Come up with the principles of your business, and in our case, it's just the wealthy. Come up with a profile. This is a huge thing that he taught me. A profile of your best clients. So think of your clients, and write down what is your best client and why are they the best. Write down what's your worst clients and why are they the worst. And then focus on any new clientele, getting those best clients, because they're your partners. And it's a win-win situation if you're working with people that you're a good fit for them and they're a good fit for you. It's hard to say no to people. And you're going to end up saying no a lot. And you have to be comfortable and confident when your no's are the right thing to say. Because it's so much easier and fun to say yes.
It is. We want to please people.
Yeah.
We really do. But that's not always, saying yes means you're saying no to something else.
It could actually harm a lot of people.
By saying
By
yes.
pleasing this person could harm a lot of other people. So.
What a good reminder of that, because it's very easy. Yes, I'll do this. Yes, I do that. And I'm even working personally on some of my boundaries. Like, I just had someone recently ask about being on another board. I'm like, I'm on a couple boards right now. Like, no might need to be the answer.
Right.
It just might need to, because
So you can do a good job for
I
the
need
others.
to serve where I'm serving. All right. So a couple key takeaways: Pareto's principle, focusing on the ones and twos, not the nines and tens. Right. Focusing on you are enough, and then coming up with that profile.
The
of
profile
who you
of the
love
client.
to work with, that loves to work with you, and finding more of them that you can serve the best way.
And don't deviate from the purpose of your business.
Yes.
Even if you think, well, that's somebody new or I want to grow. Don't have growth as your goal. I don't have growth at all as the goal. I actually am happy where we're at. Growth comes naturally when it's not your target.
Right.
And anyway, so
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you for sharing. Thanks for spending some time with us here today. This was really great, getting to know you a little bit better, and sharing some of those business tips with the listeners here is going to be very, very helpful. So thank you for that. And just as we close here, just a couple things. InitiativeOne each month puts on a leadership event. It's called a think tank, and we actually had one just this morning. And what we do is we normally cover a topic that either business owners or employees are experiencing in the workplace. We usually cover a topic that's happening right now, and that's something that we offer to our community. There's no charge. You can attend either in person or you can attend online. Here in the month of April 2023, there was over 800 people that had attended this last month. If you've not yet attended one of our events, come check it out. Come check it out. You can register. Go to initiativeone.com/events. And then in regards to the podcast, we really appreciate you listening and learning, and we want to impact more and more people out there. So if you've not yet followed us or subscribed to the podcast, go to your preferred podcast platform. Go ahead and follow us. That way you don't miss any episodes. If you did love this episode, this interview with Jason, leave us a rating, leave us a review. That helps us reach more people. And then finally, if there's someone that you know, a family member, a coworker, a friend, that you think would find value in this information and in terms of our conversation here today, go ahead and share this with that person. You never know, by sharing one piece of information with one person, what that could do for someone else. So thank you so much for attending. We appreciate you being part of our community. And remember, leadership isn't what you do, it's who you are. Thanks.